Well, that kind of leads into talking a little bit about the Pathwork. And the Pathwork is a spiritual community. It's a contemporary spiritual tradition, a spiritual path that addresses many of the universal spiritual themes and spiritual concerns that human beings, I think, innately have within them. And one of the principles of the Pathwork and how it's expressed in the Pathwork, it may be expressed slightly differently in other traditions, but it talks about how one of the main things we're doing here in life is seeking the truth. And because all spiritual traditions are about finding the truth and breaking through illusion. And in the Pathwork, we would call illusions misconceptions. And we say that the first and grandest misconception is the thought that we can be happy 100% of the time. And when we put that in the dualistic perspective, we say, well, if I can't be happy 100% of the time, which obviously you don't have to be here on planet Earth very long to figure out that ain't happening, then you go to the other extreme to say, oh, well, then I can never be happy. And of course, back to balance in terms of seeking the truth and to move through some of these misconceptions and find reality, is that there's happiness and there's unhappiness. But that reality doesn't have to make you unhappy. It just is. And of course, the paradox is that the more that we can accept that there's pain and there's pleasure, that there's joy and there's deep grief and sadness, that sometimes we get what we want and sometimes we don't, that sometimes everything just goes beautifully and sometimes it's just a royal mess. But our happiness is not contingent on that. And none of those things are a disaster or, in fact, anything. But of course, so much of our lives we spend straining towards the things we feel must happen to allow us to be happy, and straining away from the things that we think, oh, if that ever happened, that would just be it. That would be it. That you know. So just the incredible energy that's spent in that straining towards and straining away. There's an element of it that allows for us to mature. It is very child consciousness to be in this, I must always have what I want to be happy. Or just even basically, I must always have what I want. You know, it's egotistical, and it is the world of the little child that is, just kind of in their own little world, kind of quite oblivious to that there's other people, and other people sometimes want to have what they want too. And, it's like working with the 2-year-old and the 3-year-old and the 4-year-old. And when that's done well, the child learns to be able to hang on to itself and tolerate, disruptions, things not always going their way, having to give over sometimes, and also to know sometimes they can just be in their own energy and just, let it express itself fully. But we're here to mature, we're here to grow, and growing means maturing. And that part of that maturation process is to be able to tolerate within inside of ourselves all the things that go on in life. The wonderful days, the beautiful days, the wonderful things, the magic, the beauty, and then the fact that also exists pain, suffering, some really, really horrendous and very, very difficult things. And they're both happening at the same time. And that this is the reality we're living in right now. If we skip to another level, and these kinds of concepts are very popular, for instance, in the New Age movement or the New Age thinking, when we say, well, yes, we should be able to have everything we want, and we should be able to create everything, and we should be, if creation is everything in every potential and every possibility, then yes, we should have that. And yes, when we reach that place, that is true, and we will have moments of experiencing that power and that all of those potentials in our bodies in this lifetime. But for most of us, as I say, if we're not saints and mystics and highly transcendent beings, we're not going to live in that place 24/7. Because we haven't built the inner resources, the inner consciousness to have that be our reality. And in the meantime, we're practicing accepting what is and embracing what is, and the incredible growth and wisdom and development of love that comes from that acceptance and that embracing, that saying, okay, yeah, I'm not too happy about what's going on right now. It's hard. Maybe don't even really like it, but I will open my heart to it. I will let it in, because I'm learning that the only thing that allows change to happen, the only thing that allows things to heal is love.